Hey everyone, this is Drew and today we are solving section B of 2023 CS board paper. So let's continue. That is 19th question. Atharva is a Python programmer working on a program to find and return the maximum value from the list. The code written below has syntactical errors. Rewrite the correct code and underline the corrections made. It is suggested that you should write this code twice, once with marking the errors and then secondly the corrected one. So here that defining maximum number and L, that is correct. That's not any, we don't have any problem here. Also the colons are correctly placed. Next is maximum is equals to L round bracket 0. So I don't think so round bracket should be here. Here they are trying to assign the value of the 0th index of L to the max variable. Right, so first error is this. Second error is for A in L, they are iterating the list. This line of code is correct. Then if A is greater than max. Now here you can see there are no colons. So here is also again a fault in this line, that is there are no colons. Next line is max is equals to A, and as we can clearly see there is no indentation after if, because we are starting a new block after we write if. So there should be, it should be defined as if this situation, then you have the colons which is missing here, then you have to write whatever command you want to write or whatever code you want to write inside this if statement, leaving 4 spaces, that is the indentation, right? So now here we can see there is no indentation. That's why this line of code is also wrongly written. So these are 3 errors here. We have 3 errors, right? What is the correct code here? So we will just write this first code as it is. Second line has an error, that is max is equals to L of 0th index. The next line is correct, that is correct again. Problem is just the colon, so we will add the colons. We will leave 4 spaces, that's the indentation here, and here you should have written max. So this is the correct code and this is the faulty code with underlined errors. Next question we have is 20. It has 2 parts, 2 options actually you would say. That is differentiate between wired and wireless transmission. So what points you can write here is, this question is for 2 marks, so you can write 4 points on each side. So first point would be, as the name suggests, it is physical cables, right? Second is wireless, it is the transmission is done in air medium. No harm to health, it is not very harmful to us, but wireless connection is very harmful because it gives out some harmful radiations. It is not affected by weather, not too affected by weather, but wireless transmission is affected by the weather. Wired connection is better if we have some short distance to communicate to, right? And for long distances we prefer wireless connections. Domain name is the name of the website. Example here, this is the domain of the website. But what will be the URL? URL is the complete web address. Remember this. The address is the URL. URL's full form is Uniform Resource Locator. So the URL will lead you to any one of the pages within the website depicted through the domain name. Okay, but every URL contains a domain name as well as the path. So domain name helps you to identify the website's name. So the domain name contains 3 parts only, that is top level domain, intermediate level domain and low level domain. But URL contain more than that, that is it contains protocol, it contains the host name, method, port and the path of the file. And also the question asks what give an example. So here is the example, that www.cbsc.nic.in/welcome.html. This is a URL, this is the path of a website. But what will be the domain name? That means what will be the brand or the organization name? That is cbsc.nic.in. Next question, that is 21st question. They have given you the list of names. There are 5 names: Aman, Ankit, Ashish, Rajan and Rajat. You have to write the output of the given statement, that is list of names starting from -1 index to -4 index, decrementing the value by -1. So what is the -1 index here? That is Rajat. -2 is Rajan. Now if we decrement the value from first to fourth, we know that fourth value will not be included. The last value is not included till the second last value is included. That means from -1 to -3 we will get the names. The output will be somewhat like this in decrementing value, like as they are written from here to here. The output will be Rajat, Rajan, Ashish in list form. Next is consider the following tuple declaration. Yes, okay. First is a 10 number, 20 number, 30 number, and then they have a tuple again, and this will be considered as one element, and this is the fifth element, that is 40. Now they are asking what is the index of the 20th one. It will say yes, there is the first number I get is 20 at the index 1, because tuple has indexing like 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Now next question is explain the concept of alternate keys in a relational database management system with an appropriate example. So here is the things. First of all, any number of keys that can become a primary key is called the candidate. For example, let's say we have 5 candidate keys. That means 5 number of fields that can become your primary key, right? So let's say it's the name, roll number, class, date of birth and the admission number, let's say, right? And we have to select one primary key, and we have selected admission number as the primary key. So we have one primary key here, that is one primary key, right? Now the remaining ones are called alternating key automatically. Okay, so this is basically the concept of alternate keys, that any number of keys that can become primary key but are not primary key, or you can say candidate keys that are not primary keys, right? The definition will be candidate keys that are not primary key. And the question asks give us an example. So you can give this as an example, like 5 columns in a table, namely admission number is selected as the primary key, and then you will say the other ones, the remaining ones are the alternate keys. So next question is what is the full form of the following HTML and TCP. HTML, we all know it is the hypertext markup language, and TCP's full form is transmission control protocol. And now the next question is what is protocol. So I will just recite, what is the need of a protocol? I will just recite the answer, that is protocol is a formal description of messages, formats and rules that 2 or more machines need to follow to communicate. So if there are 2 devices and we want them to communicate or like transfer messages from here to here or here to here, so we need the protocols for that. Also, one more definition I'm telling you is, while networking set of rules for formatting and processing is called the protocol. Protocol are like languages for computer. The computer within a network may have different software and hardware and can be used for different purposes, but protocol enable them to communicate with each other regardless of their functions. 24, that is output of the code. So first line is definition of a function, that is correct. Next is for I in range. Okay, whatever we have given n here, we will get the range from 0 to that number. Next is if length of the list is greater than 4, so you have to do this function, or if it is not greater than 4, you have to do this function. Now the list is given as, and next we have is the list they have given, that is subjects. This CS, Hindi, physics, chemistry and maths. Short subject, this is the calling of the function over here. So as the function is called, they have given the 2 values, that is the subject, that is the list, this list goes in here, right? And next is the 5 number they have given. So let's run the code, that is for I in range 0 to n is 5, that is 0 to 5, this code will run, this loop will run. Now if the length of list is greater than 4, yes, it is correct. So what we will do is, the element at the I number will be represented like this, that is first element here is CS, so CS will be added into the list, that is the first element will be changed and it will become CS. Next time the loop work, the value of I becomes 1, that is the index of Hindi. Now again the same thing will happen here, it will be changed with Hindi. Next is physics, same thing will happen. Chemistry, same thing. Math, same thing will happen. And the output will be somewhat like this: CS, Hindi, physics, chemistry, maths in the list. Why? Because they have printed the subject list, that is this one. And this all this operation occurred inside this list only, that's why the list is B. That is also output of the code. These output of codes are very important questions. They are asked in maybe 1 marks, 2 marks, 3 marks, as you can already see in MCQs also it was there. It is A is equals to 30, definition of call, okay, global this, okay. Next we have is X is equals to 20, print call 30, that is the function calling. They are calling the function, that is this call will go directly over here. This value will be replaced by 35. Now the code will run, that is global A, that is 30. If 30 mod 2 is equal to 0, which is true, then your X, that is 35, becomes 35 plus A, that is 30. So the answer will be 65. This won't work. Next is return X. We returned X. X is 65. So we have returned X. And this return function, what does this do? This will come back here, and now call is replaced by return X, whatever the X value is. X value is 65. See, this command is, it has no, we will write hash at the end. Next is separate. So now this line has run. Now the code, the flow, as per the flow of execution, next line will be run, that is print call 40 and end is @ So as soon as the compiler sees this line, it will trigger and just move wherever this function is defined. So here call X is equals to how much? 40 over here, because here they have given 40 as the value of X. Same thing will happen here, that is global A, that is 30. And yes, 30 is again divided by mod 2 will be 0. Same thing will happen, that is 40 plus 30 will be the new value of X, that is 70. So here you will we will run the code and we will reach this statement, that is return X, and X is returned. This return function comes back to the print statement, that is called 40. The function will be run, that is 70, and the end will be @ this time. So next is, what is the difference between the char and varchar? This is very common question and I hope you know this, but if you do not, I'll just tell you. Character is a data type that stores fixed size of the string, but varchar does not have a fixed size, that is, it is variable. Next is character takes up 1 to 4 byte for each character, but varchar can take more. Why? Because it also has to store the length of the string. For example, we have character 10. We have defined, if we give it the value ABC, so we will only see that there are 7 spaces also added up in the storage. That in character, if you see, the value will be stored like ABC and all these spaces will also be stored. But in varchar, we do not save these spaces, only this will be. So this is the example you can give. Name any 2 DDL and 2 DML commands. So DDL commands are create, alter, drop and remove, and DML commands are update, delete, insert and select. You can write any 2. So yeah, that is it for this video, and I will meet you in the next video when I will cover the section C of this paper. Thank you for watching, and please check out the playlist for other year question papers also. Thank you.